The truth doesn't matter if everyone hates you first. You think it will earn you more respect. That if you finally speak up, people will listen to you. Well, my friend, that is not the truth. That is just a way of thinking that is not right. But somehow, it only makes it worse. You start feeling isolated, misunderstood, and even doubting yourself. It's not because you're wrong. No, you're only at the wrong place. Because no one has teach you brutal life lessons. And which of this is one of them? And that is what I will be presenting to you. Because right now, you're pushing people away without even realizing it. And the biggest problem it can cause is backlash and backfire right into your spine. And that is something you do not want to. So just watch this video. You can do with it what you want. But know one thing. You can click away now. But it won't fix the problem. That is the first point. And the second point, at least try it. If it doesn't work, then you can say I've at least tried it. Because right now, what do you have to lose? It will just keep going and going and going till the moment you give up. That is not who you are. That is something you need to overcome. And I will help you with it in this quick video. So let's get to you. 4 points I've prepared to make sure you understand this brutal life lesson. And when you understand it fully, use it and fix those problems. That's what we're going to do. So let's get right into point number 1. So the first lesson. Even though you're maybe right, sometimes it's better just to stay quiet. And for this example, I will take school. We've all been there or currently are. And we all can remember the one person who always spoke up, trying to correct them. So if you take, for example, 5 times 16, which is 80, but if the teacher or other student just calculated it wrong and said 90, for example, you have 2 choices. The first path you can take is you do not say anything. The second path you can take is you can say something about it. Well, let me present you the following consequences. The first thing, nothing will happen. Great. But that does mean you do not go forward, not go backwards. The second option, which you choose 9 out of 10 times, is you say something. And when you say something, people think you're arrogant and the I know it all guy, that you're better and better than everything else. That's the whole summary of it. But if you do that by people who are standing above you at a certain place, that does not bring leadership or a wow factor. No, that just brings pure disaster. And that is what you're doing. So, correcting a teacher during class. Even when they're wrong, just say silent then. Or just say, sir, I came on 80, just so I have correct in my book. Is this true, 90? They're asking a question. It's not like, sir, you're wrong. That's very direct, which in Netherlands is commonly, but if you just nuanceate it to a question, then they feel less harmed, and then it's just, for the rest of the whole class, you're just asking a question if it is right. Or, which we did most of the times, raise our hand, we got the permission to speak, they said, sir, I came on 80. I think 90 is wrong. And then you will go, yeah, you're right. But then it's less direct. And when you do not have that power, that status, it is the safest option you can choose and the best option. If you have that status, so let's say you're the teacher now, and someone makes a mistake, you can say, no, it's this. And the second thing, mocking dumb group projects because you think they're pointless can turn your classmates against you, even if you're right. Your grade depends on them. So then it's better just to stay low. And just the whole lesson out of this point. No matter the environment, if you're standing below someone and you want to correct them, just nuance it a little bit. Just wind it a little bit down, the force of your words. Then there is nothing that can backfire on you. Now, we get into point number 2. This is a common thing. You join somewhere and then you think you're this. Well, in fact, you're just a little small child sitting like there. And then what happens? Which happened to me. I had 2 years of experience in another store and I transferred to a smaller store which just became Hoogvliet. It was half a year, I believe. And I came there and I have all this experience and people just are, they have some rank, but they were lower than me in performance in every aspect. And what I did, I started correcting them. But that was the dumbest mistake I could make. Because when that happens, when they do not have the trust, or they do not see you as a team member or as a higher person, they defend their egos. They just build a Chinese wall in front of you, and you can try no matter what. But you have, in a whole week, everyone against you. And that was the mistake I made. And that is something you should avoid too. If you get into a new job, a new place, first you must settle your role. That is the important thing. Settle your role first, then you can change. Of course, if you come there as the next CEO, again, it's wise to just settle your role, let everyone get to know you, and then you can start changing things. But also, as the second point, calling out people for low work quality when you do not have the status. It gives the same consequences. All because they see you just as a snitch and not as a trusted member who can say that. So you're already at the start of the beginning having 2 problems. You're seen as a problem and as a very arrogant guy that no one wants to work with. And the second thing, everyone thinks you're not trustable. That is something you want to have at a new job, right? In a job, it's all about timing, politics, and rank. And you need to know where your place is. And when you know your place, then you can do things from that place. Now, as for the third point, it's a very common thing. We have the right to speak our opinion. Well, actually, you do not have that. And it all has to do with a thing I will draw out. So you have two groups. And we take fitness, one of the most used and searched topics in today's world. So you have group A, which is a group that stands for fitness. So they are pointing in the right direction with your beliefs. And then you have group B. And they're a little bit against you. They do not share the same opinion. So this is the start to begin with. Group A goes in the right direction, Group B does not. Well, here comes the problem. You post something which is a hard truth that nobody can really take. But people that are with you just understand it, nothing wrong. But people against you, they will try to knock you down. But what you're doing is you miscalculate a big mistake. Only 40% is with you. So it does not matter. Unless this number is higher than 50, you will lose anyway to this. And that is just social survival is logical survival. If there's a topic that no one can really talk about it because then they get cancelled, it's better just to ignore it and swallow your opinion. Because you will get dumped into the ground. That's the same with Andrew Tate. But the lucky part was, he had more followers with him than against him. But let's take the LGBTQ. There are more people against you if you're against them. Because then people support each other. So if you just have one person, but has 10 friends, if you assault that one person, then those 10 friends will assault you too. Then it's just better to only share your opinion with people that are like-minded. Because otherwise, you will get shoved into the ground. And it won't be a very pleasant shove. And the last thing, changing too fast who you are. You need to do it gradually. Not this. No one can react to it. No one can adjust to it. And then when you're becoming better, your friends are staying still here, then they get the confrontation that you're better than them. Which is one thing they do not want. So what will happen, instead of being with you, you can guess it already, they will come right for your ass. And personally, that has happened to me. And that was one of the hardest things I could ever experience. It had to do with a best girlfriend I had. And she was a bit in a down place. When I started going up, she would make sure I got right to the point where she was. And that happened again and again and again. So watch out for those people. Because they will try to shove you in the ground. They will try to make a little dwarf of you. All to get their right. That is how brutal people are. And it still is something that amazes me every day. But now we get into a point which takes a bit of complication. Humans are wired to prioritize belonging to a group over hearing a harsh or uncomfortable truth. In any group, school, work, internet, friends, when someone exposes flaws or tries to break the group norms too directly, it triggers defensive reactions, creates fear within them, causes resentment. Instead of that red carpet is rolled out for you, it will be folded and pointed right at you. And it threatens the group harmony. So even if you're completely right, think logically. Or only adjust it smallly so people can adjust to it. But otherwise, you will face that consequence in full force. And to get further on this, people are just trying to protect their ego. They just want social proof. When most people believe one thing, the majority sticks together. If you challenge it, they see you as dangerous or arrogant, not smart person. Cognitive dissonance, which is, in very short, their truth does not go right with them. This is what's happening. You have a key, you have a lock, does not go right. This goes right. That's what goes wrong. So, to give you a quick solutions to make sure this does not happen to you on top of the solutions I've already given you, move in silence first, which is just first settle into your place. Blend in before standing out, and that is just make sure that everyone is with you, and then you can nudge your head out. And then you can just grow as a little seed until you're fully above them. Let people discover the truth themselves. Do not always be the messenger of bad news. Sometimes just let them find it out. Choose timing carefully. As I said with that example, do not go rushing into it. Only do it when the time is right. And you know when the time is right. It's not something that is just a strategy or a thing I can just say at 3 o'clock the timing is right. No. That is something you just have to feel. Speak to their emotions. Meet where they believe and build from there. Do not do the opposite of what they believe, because that is one of the hardest things to change in a human. Protect egos. Correct the idea, not the person. If you correct them, it is just a 180 pointed at you. So instead of a barrel with the truth, that is the wool, it will be redirected. And the last thing, earn loyalty first. Because if you have loyalty, you can make those things. So that is very quick, very precise, everything that you needed to know to counter this problem. So with that, I can keep talking, but you should prepare yourself to make things right, get people on your side, and most importantly, be valued for who you are. So with that, I wish you the very best, and I hope to see you in my next video.